power dynamics on customers' engagement.
Okay, good evening. Hello everyone. My name is Sachi and I'll be presenting my research on the effect of personalization of marketing and different power dynamics on customer engagement. So my specific research question is, how does personalized versus non-personalized marketing in high and low power distance individuals influence participant engagement in online marketing? Delving into my variables, the first of which is personalization. So personalization in the marketing context is when a business tries to tailor their advertisements to be personally relevant to an individual customer. So this is John. He has previously visited Amazon and browsed for sci-fi books. So when he returns to the website, Amazon is going to show him ads for the latest sci-fi book launch. Participants in the personalized condition will receive individually tailored stimuli using their collected data, such as preferences and personal information. Participants in the non-personalized condition will all receive a standardized advertisement. The second variable is power distance. Power distance is one of Hofstede's cultural dimensions, which measures how people relate or measure themselves in a hierarchical society to other members of the society. Where people can see themselves as above, below, or at par with other members. So John has high power distance beliefs. So he feels like Amazon is an authority figure and owns his data because he is using their service. Therefore, he is less likely to view personalization as a privacy concern. This is Mary, and she enjoys football. She has low power distance beliefs and sees Amazon at the same level as her in society. And therefore, she feels more ownership over her data and feels like if she were to return to Amazon and see football equipment ads, she would see this as a privacy concern. I'll be measuring her power distance beliefs on an individual scale in this research. And finally, my outcome variable is engagement, which I'll be using in this research as to gauge the level of interest and what feelings arises in the participant towards the products that will be shown in the advertisement. I'll be measuring this using the personal involvement scale, which will measure the emotional response to the products that have been shown in the advertisement. So I have a question. How many times have you been scrolling online and felt like your mind has been read when you get an advertisement of something that you were talking about, even thinking about just a few hours ago? This was because businesses very commonly use personalization, which is the relevance of my study. Personalization is currently a very popular method of marketing, as we can see in some common consumer websites, such as Amazon, who very actively use your purchase preferences and your personal information, or any online common big consumer websites. And we can see this in services as well, such as Netflix and Spotify, who use your streaming habits to better recommend their products when you return their other options. This makes sense because, as we'll see next, processing personalized information is easier for participants and for customers. And it helps both the users identify information and communication that's of interest to them in the modern marketing clutter, and helps marketers better allocate resources and budgets towards their target audiences. Since this is a highly relevant technique, I was interested in its effects, especially when taking in a cultural perspective into consideration, which triggered my research direction. As for the background information in these fields, Tam and Ho found that processing personalized stimuli is easier. Personalization in the form of the user's name, their past preferences, led to more attention from their participants. And this works by making the processing of the message easier and taking less time to filter through options, making users more likely to choose the personalized recommendations. Medan et al. Found that high power distance individuals are less likely to worry about sharing data. And individuals with high power distance beliefs are less likely to worry about sharing data, as they may see the business as an authority figure and that the data belongs to the business because they are using their service. So John, who has high power distance beliefs, may say, I'm using their service, so it's normal that they use my information. Whereas Mary with low power distance beliefs might say, this is my data and I have the right to keep it private. Finally, McKee et al. Found that higher privacy concerns reduces personalization's effectiveness Therefore, individuals with high power distance beliefs are more likely to choose the personalized option. My novelty is being able to combine these factors for my research. Moving on to the methods, in terms of participants, I'll be looking to recruit 100 participants which has been decided based on prior research through the AOS SONA platform. There are no other prerequisites required to join. In terms of my materials, I'll be using an online mock website which will have 5 hypothetical products from 5 common product categories. And as you can see in the first session, there will be no advertisements on the right-hand side. When participants return for session 2, those in the personalized condition will receive, based on the data collected on them in session 1, personalized ad recommendations, and both conditions will receive 3 advertisements on the right-hand side of the page. The non-personalized section condition will receive 3 randomly selected products. I will be measuring power distance using the CV scale, which will be a bridge to simply the power distance questions. And this scale measures power distance on an individual level. It'll ask participants questions such as if people in higher power should be allowed to make decisions without consulting those in lower power positions. And finally, I'll be measuring engagement using the personal involvement inventory, which will measure the affective or emotional response to the products shown in the advertisements in both conditions after the advertisement has been displayed for each individual item that has been advertised. In terms of my procedures, I will be conducting the research in the psychology computer lab rooms, where in session 1, participants will first be asked to answer some demographic questions such as age, gender, and nationality, and then asked to explore an online departmental store with hypothetical products from 5 common product categories. There will be no advertisements during this session, and instead, the website will be tracking the user's product preferences and collect information for personalization, such as their name and preferences. This will be collected using an algorithm created using AI and with the help of the computer science department professors. That is very similar to cookies that we see on many websites today. The algorithm will record the pages visited, the number of clicks, the time spent on a page, items added to wish list or cart, and scroll depth, which is how far deep into a product or a category a participant explores. After 1 week has passed, session 2 will take place, where participants will be randomly allocated to the personalized or non-personalized condition. There will be 3 advertisements on the right-hand side of the page. In the personalized condition, this will include personalized product recommendations and their name, which has been collected from session 1. And so, for example, John would be greeted by name on the right-hand side and provided ads for sci-fi related products. The non-personalized condition will receive 3 randomly chosen products for advertising and no personalized messaging. So, for example, if Mary was in the non-personalized condition, she would receive a standard welcome message and 3 unrelated product advertisements to her preferences. Finally, participants will be assigned to either complete the power distance scale or the power involvement inventory first to measure their product engagement. In terms of what I expect to see from the results of my research, I expect to see that the personalized condition overall will demonstrate the highest product engagement due to the ease of processing personalized recommendations. I further expect to see an interaction between the personalized condition and high power distance belief individuals due to their reduced privacy concerns and their view on authority. So John, who has high power distance beliefs, should demonstrate one of the highest product engagement values. Therefore, the non-personalized condition overall will demonstrate lower engagement because it's not as easy to process as personalized recommendations. But specifically, high power distance individuals will demonstrate slightly higher product engagement compared to the low power distance individuals in the non-personalized condition because of their view on privacy, their view on privacy concerns, and the impact of personalization. Moving on to the limitations of my study, a potential limitation is the quality of the personalization, which can affect the validity of the study. Because if the advertisements in the personalized condition are not distinct enough from the non-personalized condition, this can affect the validity. Since algorithms still aren't perfect, because they rely on patterns and data, data is not always accurate, like participants might be browsing aimlessly. And this is an issue for businesses in real life as well. They also struggle with imperfect data or user errors. Another potential limitation is the external validity of the study. So my sample is focused on one university with a narrow age range, and most participants are likely to originate from Asian backgrounds, cultural backgrounds. So there may be cultural differences in extrapolating this data from the sample to a larger global population. In terms of the implications of my research, there are wide-ranging possibilities for marketers and businesses to apply this in their marketing. Businesses can conduct more successful campaigns by targeting the right audiences specifically for them, the way that they need to be catered. So John might be with high power distance beliefs, might be very happy to return to Amazon and see his name and his interests around the website. Whereas Mary may appreciate more transparency from Amazon about how they're using her data, and even the option to reject personalized ads. By understanding and respecting their individual preferences, businesses can actually foster more trust-based relationships with customers, leading to higher customer loyalty and more positive brand perception. This also has great implications to help psychologists and mental health professionals alike to help as a tool to help them moderate shopping addictions by better understanding the interplay between culture and advertising. It also impacts consumers to help them understand when they're scrolling online how they may be targeted, but overall this will help them receive better communication, better recommendations, and for them to process marketing more easily in the modern marketing world. And finally, my research would be able to add to the literature in consumer psychology and behavioral marketing. As for my learning outcomes, I have been able to design a research study from start to finish, which I am really grateful for, to be able to apply so many of the concepts and technical skills in a way that I've never been able to before, from my BAPSI classes, from internship experiences, and to be able to present a topic that I'm very passionate about to an audience. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity. Additionally, being able to present this research so many times to colleagues, to professors, to gain feedback, to better my public speaking and communication skills, because I've had to been able to understand a topic completely and then re-explain it in a way that can be explained at an introductory level to everyone, which has really tested my explanation skills. And then finally, I've been able to consider a number of factors, cultural factors. Before I even settled on power distance beliefs, there were a variety of iterations of this study that I had to go through, and I've gained a lot of information outside of just the study, which is really relevant for me because I'm interested professionally in entering the behavioral marketing field. So having this wide-ranging understanding of marketing and different cultural aspects, especially in a country like UAE where there's so many different cultures, it's a real melting pot, will really help me professionally as well. And these are my references, and I want to thank everyone for their attention and time.